Hey everybody, what's up? Circus here coming at you with another new player discussion video. Last week we did, does your anime bias hinder your Duel Links account? This week we're doing, does your TCG bias hinder your Duel Links experience in general? This week I brought Sing in with me. He's one of our new player helpers from the Discord. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I go by no empathy in the Discord, by the way, but I refer to me as Sing.
All right, we will do that. So, the new player helpers, you guys sat around and came up, well, every week I ask you guys what's going on in the new player channel, people asking questions or people talking about things. I want you guys to come up with a topic. And the first one was anime bias, because a lot of people come in, they want to play their favorite Dark Magician or Blue Eyes deck or whatever. And I said, what's the next topic? And you guys were like, TCG bias. People talked about the TCG all the time. So why don't we get into that a little bit? What was the first point you guys wanted to make about comparing the TCG to Duel Links all the time?
Yeah, so the first point we wanted to go over was just because it was good in the TCG does not mean it will be good in Duel Links.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple examples of this are archetypes like Mermills. I remember when they were released a couple years back. A lot of people were hyped about them, right? Because you've seen so much success in the TCG for Mermills, so why wouldn't they be good in Duel Links either, right? But Mermills have done absolutely nothing, and the same thing goes for an archetype like Windups. I mean, Windups even got Carrier Zenmighty, which is a banned card in the TCG. But
Really?
in Duel Links, yeah, it is. In Duel Links, all it does is clog your board
Right.
because there's only 3 zones and there's no link summoning.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really pop off like you would normally. It also hinders the value you get from Wind Up Magician being able to just spam itself from the deck. You can't do that with only 3 zones. And there's no good boss monsters to go into for these Xyz archetypes. So you're basically just special summoning from deck, and then you're just sitting on a couple of small bodies. Like, what are you going to do after that?
Well,
Right.
I guess just in general, what you're saying is the formats are so different that just because one archetype is good in the TCG doesn't mean it can translate to Duel Links because it's so different.
Right, yeah. So the TCG's format it's definitely not speed dueling like Duel Links. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Decks have to be a little decks and archetypes or have to be a little bit more concise, right? You can't
hmm
sit and do multiple combos to get where you're going. You have to get there like right away.
That and you have to be able to work with few zones, which I personally think it gives like a slight advantage to control decks because they can work with fewer monster zones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to note. Like Invoked was easily translated from the TCG to Duel Links, and that's still top tier in the TCGs. That's probably a little different because Windups and Mermills are older archetypes, and Invoked is just insane as it's still doing things in the TCG.
Mm-hmm.
But like the same logic still applies, right? You still need to treat a deck that did well in the TCG uh, as a new archetype in Duel Links, just the exact same way. Like wait for results, wait to see if this deck actually has some potential, and give it some time.
Because I'm sure there's archetypes like I always think of like you only can summon three of them, but in the TCG you could really get going there, right? I mean, you could get at least four.
hmm Right, yeah. So that lets you proc more effects as well. The
Right.
same
So,
thing goes for Fur Hires. That's actually the first deck I think of
oh
when I
yeah,
think of
that's another
spamming the
example.
board.
They could just keep summoning each other. Yeah, and you just can't do that in Duel Links. So the three monster zones really hinder those archetypes.
hmm
All right. So what was your
And
second point you wanted to bring up?
right, so that actually ties into my second point, which is just because it was bad in the TCG does not mean it will be bad in Duel Links.
You got an example for that?
A perfect example. So Shiranui is a complete meme in the TCG. The most play Shiranui has seen is Solitaire being ran in normal zombie world decks to search out Unizombie.
Okay.
However, yeah, but obviously in Duel Links, that deck's been doing work for like an entire year up until the latest ban list, which really hinders them. But the format is different, right? So Duel Links is a lot slower in the TCG, and Shiranui thrives in this sort of environment because you're able to plus every single turn and just have such good follow up with Spectral Sword. Whereas in the TCG, you can't really do that. You need to set up a stronger board. You need to set up a lot more disruptions.
Hmm.
You can't play this slow game unless you're playing these extremely powerful floodgates and traps that the TCG has. Obviously, Duel Links doesn't have.
So the power
And
level is just so different between the TCG and Duel Links that something that's a little underpowered that does maybe have like built-in negates or disruption, like you were saying, won't do well in the TCG. But in Duel Links, hey, you just throw in some back row, you're good to go.
well, that and the format for Duel Links is so much slower,
Hmm.
and that lets Shiranui thrive.
Well, yeah,
That's
because
like the big point I was the that's like the big point I was trying to get across.
well, yeah, because
Just
like
since,
you can sit and play all those traps, right? If you need to, you can
mhm,
just sit back and just relax and let the game happen.
and you're just plussing from the grave every single turn with just looping Spectral Sword.
Hmm.
You're gonna lose the duel before you ever get off a single Spectral Sword in the TCG.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thank God I'm not playing TCG because I prefer this format. I think I feel like I'd be completely lost in the TCG.
It's not. Yeah, I guess.
I
Sort of.
remember
It's
Rye
really not
talking
that
about it. He
bad.
said he tried to play it a little bit and he was just like, this guy's turn one was like 45 moves, and he was just like, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, that's why you got hand traps, which are also very prominent in the TCG and destroy Shiranui.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to your third point then.
Okay, so my third point is just because a deck has a lot of potential, don't invest in it right away. So Dinosaur currently is doing work in the TCG.
Hmm.
But we have Miscellaneousaurus in Duel Links.
Right.
However, Dino in Duel Links isn't doing anything. Yes, Misk is it's a core card to the dinosaur strategy, but we're missing all the other pieces. So I've seen a couple people come into the new player help channel and they ask about dinos because we have Miscellaneousaurus and they realize that dinos are insane in the TCG. But that doesn't mean we'll ever get good dino support or that we'll ever get the missing pieces, you know?
I heard, confirmed rumor perhaps, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno next box. True.
That,
You should invest in
yes.
dinos right now based on this rumor.
Yeah, so what happened is Konami ended up changing the rarity for Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and then people started freaking out because they think, oh, a rarity change? That must mean it's coming to Duel Links, right? They made it an ultra rare, which of course it would be in Duel Links, right? So maybe it's coming to Duel Links, but it's just so unlikely. You can't bet on that, especially when a card like Purgatrio is in the game, and that's single-handedly making Invokes top tier. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is just an arguably easier to summon and a stronger version of Purg with a better effect.
I think
I
people
highly
want it
doubt
though
it's
because
coming.
it seems to be a fan favorite, right? Dinos.
If you ask a TCG player if they like dinos, they will say no because that deck is cancerous in the TCG.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just aching for a new deck because the last four boxes have been just so irrelevant. You know,
Right.
it's really frustrating.
Another good example of people wanting to invest early in a deck, or when XZs were first coming out, a lot of people Madolches. You got to have your Madolches.
Yeah, just sitting on those Madolche cards until you get some support. You can okay. First off, something we've seen recently with Noble Knights in the structure deck is that they actually reprinted all of those old Noble Knight cards.
Oh, I
All you're
know.
missing is Gwen. Yeah.
So
So
if you went back and got them all, oh dear lord.
yeah, Rai has like 30 copies of Madrot
Right.
that he doesn't need. Yeah. So after the Noble Knight structure deck reprinting all these old Noble Knight cards, I think it's safe to assume that Madolche will have the same, you know,
Right. Well, I think
reprint.
anything coming out like that in a structure deck, they're just going to reprint a lot of things.
Yeah, that or a box. The
Right.
Hazy Flame monsters were also reprinted recently in Rage of
Hmm.
Volcano. So that's another example.
Right. So don't worry about going back through those old boxes, trying to future proof your account.
Right, yeah. You'll get all the pieces. Konami will hopefully reprint everything, judging from what we've seen thus far.
All right. Number four.
Number four is don't ask for overpowered cards.
This is the one where I could go off forever, man. You know how much I hate doing a stream, and someone's like, "Hey, Circus, what do you think about if we got this card in the from the TCG?" It's like, I don't know, dude. I don't even know what the card is. It would be OP. Then they're probably not going to release it. Okay.
Yeah, we see it all the time. Every single day you
If they
see it.
just
Oh, we
released
should
this card, it
get
would be
this.
broken.
Yeah, it would be broken, but Konami's not that stupid, you know? You have to realize that. They know what they're doing with their releases. So,
I think you're the first person to ever say that in one of these videos.
well, they're not. They do know what they're doing. It's pretty obvious when you look at all the
Wow.
way they spread out these cards. It's only a matter of time before we
I want to
okay.
moderate a Sing versus Herf video. This would be great because Herf is adamant that they don't know what they're doing.
No, they do.
They
They're
do.
good at making money. That's their motto, you know. That's what
Right. They are
Konami
good at
wants.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is the biggest pet peeve I have is just this is what we have in the game. Okay. So they release Noble Knights. Don't expect anything else to come out for it. And don't say, we got to have this. It would be OP. We got to have this. It'd be OP. It's like, this is what we have.
Yeah. And people keep speculating about new cards, and I'm like, if it comes, it comes. I'm not gonna speculate anything. If we do end
Right.
up getting these cards, then we can talk about it, you know, then we can actually discuss it. There's no point in discussing these like this like non-existent format. It's just speculation.
Oh, it's like when you hear
It's just a waste of time.
sports talk radio where people are like talking about taking players from all their favorite teams and putting them on one super team and how great that team would be or something. It's like, it's never gonna happen. Okay,
Yeah.
just let it go. Just let
Yep.
it go. So that one's pretty easy actually. All right, and the
Yeah.
last point,
There will not be a format change.
main phase
Duel,
2.
Duel Links is made to be a speed is sorry. Duel Links is made to be a sorry. Duel Links is a speed duel format, and
There
it's
we
gonna stay
go.
that way.
Yeah, it's meant to be a quick game. You know, it's not supposed to.
Yeah,
Can you imagine having 8,000 life points? Oh my god.
in 5 zones and 40 card decks, how much longer the games would be. It's a mobile game, guys. It's a mobile game, and it was
Right.
built from the ground up to be uh to complement the speed duel format. That's the whole point. So if
Mhm.
you want to play in a different format, just play the TCG. That's what it's
Right.
there for.
And then don't forget to tell people in the TCG that you're free to play.
Yeah.
See how that goes. I'll take a box of cards, please. That'd be $100. No, 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 no. I'm free to play.
I guess, well, you could just play online all day, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there needs to be a format change. I like it the way it is.
Yeah.
So I guess the big thing is you can't really compare Duel Links to the TCG. Yes, they have the same ancestry, maybe. I don't know. They started from the same point, right? But they've completely diverged at this point. So just enjoy Duel Links for what it is.
Well, yeah, and I think you can use the TCG as like a guide, but Duel Links has proven itself to be a very different game just based off these few formats that we've had. It's pretty obvious that the TCG is pretty different from Duel Links and vice versa. So,
Well, just to add, having skills. That's such a
mhm.
big difference, you know.
Yeah, skills is a big thing for Duel Links. I know a lot of people are they hate skills because they're like, oh, they're overpowered. Like I just don't like it. Well, this sets Duel Links apart from the TCG. So you kind of want skills. Otherwise a big part of the uniqueness of like Duel Links, it's gone because we won't have skills. Like we need
Right.
skills.
Yeah, it
It's
makes the game a
cool.
lot more fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another
Gives it that anime flavor.
yeah, it's another piece of strategy to think about, you know.
Yeah. Makes a lot more fun. All right, so let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you able to let go of your TCG bias, or did you even have one? I didn't really have one. I've never played the TCG. I just picked up Duel Links, so I don't have a lot to complain about. I'm not looking for OP cards. I don't want the format to change. I'm not worried about mermails being OP. You know, I'm accepting Duel Links as it is, as they release it, and I'm loving it. So let me know how you think in the comments below. All right. So make sure you're getting our our Discord so you can see our new player channel that's in there with people like Sing. and Jason and Broken Famous and who else? CJ.
CJ, yeah.
So make sure to check that out. Check out the new player streams that we do every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we sit and answer questions and we play new player decks and have a lot of fun. And make sure to get in the Discord because you can join all of our tournaments. They're free. The Discord's free. All that stuff's free. And they got a new player help guide too. These guys
It's
went
30
crazy.
pages.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yep.
Well, now you just scared everybody away. But it's a pretty good document. You guys should check it out. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here. I'm Circus. That's Sing. This is where you say goodbye.
Goodbye.
There you go. We'll see you next time.